Yay.
My name is Janelle Jackson. I go to Muchin College Prep, and the title of my poem is Irrequitable Apologies. I'm sorry that I cried so much when I was a baby. And I'm sorry that I wasn't born a full-blown lady. I'm sorry that my DNA co-contributor ain't lead the right lifestyle, so he couldn't be with us. So I'm sorry he had to leave, and so did we. And I'm sorry that the people had to come and put our stuff on the street, and I'm sorry that I was rushing to put my shoes on the wrong feet, and I'm sorry that my grandma had to come take me away for you to come get me another day. And when that day came, you came. But 1.5 years later, you were nowhere to be found. See, we took a cab to a common ground, which we both know is the MacArthur Foundation. That's my grandma's job, and you took me to the 11th floor, and before you shut the elevator door, you told me you'd be back for me. I was 4. After the first year, I was losing hope. The second year, it went down a slippery slope. The third year, it was all gone, and by the 4th year, I was calling my grandma and my auntie mom. By the time you actually came back, my body wanted to hug you, but my heart was on attack. My jubilation was hiding all of my frustration. The inquisition was real. I had more questions in my engine than eggs.com. Like, how can you leave someone who you called mom, who called you mom, who you carried in your belly for 9 months until August 22nd you decided it was enough? Or how can they say that you don't miss someone until they're gone, and I missed you and you were right here in my home? But most importantly, I wasn't in that umbilical cord, so why was it so easy for you to cut me off? Because after you came, it took a long time for me to respect your open, I-O-N, but now it's I-opening because I've learned from your mistakes, and from your past you've escaped. At least I thought you had. Because by the second time you acted so caddishly, my years had doubled, so now I can see that the lies you were telling yourself hid behind insecurities. And I meant to tell you that you aren't that good at hiding things, because I found that I'm not that important to you. At least not as important as he is. Because he has a better way of showing his love. The hand imprints on your face, I can tell when you're thinking of him, because the tears flow out of your eyes in the shape of a heart. And I remember I used to get on my knees and beg to God to split the Red Sea, to split you two apart. But you would always swim back to his sweltering hands. So I'm sorry that I got on my knees and begged God to change something that will never change. Your mind's not straight. It is so deranged. And apparently I'm asking you to be too brave when I tell you to forget your husband's name and his very existence. You embrace his, but to my love there is a resistance. And sometimes I'll feel like a motherless child. Mom, I'm sorry that I'm not mature enough to see what love really involves. And I'm not old enough to see that your problems don't need to be solved. They can just be washed away by vodka, Jack Daniel, and Cristal. Listen, I'm sorry that I was born a baby and not a full-blown lady. And I'm sorry in our lives you won't see a trend. But I'm telling you, I had to accept my own apology.
She thought she was hot because she got the same thing I got, but I'm rocking your way better than good time though. From low to high. Woo! We got an 8.8, a 9.1, a 9.4, a 9.7, a 9.8. So for y'all that don't know, you gotta catch on. We have a saying here, Love and Above. The point is not the point is the poetry. Cool. The point is not the point, the point is the poetry. The point is not the point, the point is the poetry. The point is not the point, the point is the poetry. Please keep make some noise for the team out of Muchin.
and this is called the L. There are 33 stops on the red line.
23 stops on the pink line.
33 stops on the blue line.
28 stops on the brown line.
They all tell a different story.
Our story.
33 stops on the red line. Red, a color that has defined the South Side. A color that was only a crayon, but is now a part of mankind. Gunshots and bloodshed, the pain only 33 stops away. 69th, 79th, 87th, and 95th. Each exit leading into a world of unspoken violence. In the South, the tears shed in the form of blood thick and red. The farther south you go, the darker the red. But as you work your way north, they slowly become clear as if their white blood cells have hidden the red within their skins.
23 stops on the pink line. Pink, the color of the black man's lips who lies the kiss of death among the youth's forehead, guiding them to believe that drugs and gangs are the ultimate route to protection. These black men ride on this line and find a dead end where the white man's education lies. These pink pigmented people ride to where their education lies and aren't easily manipulated by the black man's eyes. Yet, some slip through the cracks and end up like us. And some of us are lucky enough to actually wake up and realize that we are pawns in a giant game of chess. And we get more out of life if we became babbling brooks through our books. Pink, a color that was only a crayon but is now a part of mankind.
There are 33 stops on the blue line. Blue, a color that was once a crayon, now a part of mankind. Tragic that every day is the same, never having a new clue. I call this the blue line blues. How some souls trapped in their baggages, going into the darkening parts of the Forest Park Inn, blinded to how their lives can begin. While some souls flying freely through the white O'Hare line, brightening up a better way of their lives. Shh, listen, can you hear the differences in the melodies that the blues is trying to speak? Can you hear the despairing tones of the souls that's trapped on the Forest Park Inn? Or can you hear the lolly-dolly happy tones of the souls flying freely through the white O'Hare Inn? Can you hear the difference in the illegal gambling just to get a bite to eat? Or can you hear the new flying opportunities? Well, that's what the tragic blues tells me.
28 stops on the brown line. Brown. Brown line, no brown people. I sit next to these people whose skin is the epitome of birds of snow. They take this brown line, this color they once took advantage of, snatching them from their brown soil, packed them like sardines on this brown boat. Now there's a brown line, a color they once couldn't understand, a color that was a crayon but is now a part of man, kind, they weren't so kind, blind, yes, they were blind to the realness under this brown skin. Now there's a brown line, to replace the depression that was caused by oppression, people, that was once a recession for my brown people. There was a brown line, no brown people.
There are 33 stops on the red line. 33 opportunities to stop violence.
There are 23 stops on the pink line. 23 opportunities to break the chains of ignorance.
There are 33 stops on the blue line. 33 opportunities to turn your blues into your paradise.
There are 28 stops on the brown line. 28 opportunities to right the wrongs of history.
They all tell a different story.
Our story.